She's got a mom who's in talent management. She had what every girl wanted, a fairy godmother who happened to be the legendary Dolly Parton. And now, at 20 years old, she is surging into a new area of her career, got a new album out, bangers, and she's got music that is at the top of the charts, and just had a really great showing on Saturday Night Live. Miley, welcome. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
How'd you do Saturday night?
It was awesome. It's two very opposite things. That was, we went on a little late because of the game.
Right.
So now I'm up very early. So it was very late to very early.
Were you nervous?
No, I was so excited to be there. This is kind of what I'm born to do, just from doing sitcoms and being used to kind of balancing both. It was kind of like a dream thing for me to do. It was really fun.
When we started promoting that you were going to be here about a week or so ago, I had...
Did people start sleeping here already?
They started sleeping here, but I also had people come up to me and say, I got a question. I know what I want to hear. Are you surprised by the attention you're getting right now?
Not really. I mean, it's kind of what I want. I'm an artist, so I'm hoping that I get a little attention. Otherwise, my record sales might be a little sketch.
Well, let's get to that, because you talked about the VMAs, and you said, look, people called it a hot mess, but it was a strategic hot mess. So did you go there that night and say, look, I'm going to do something. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to be offended by it, but people are going to be talking about it the next morning. Was it your plan?
I don't ever really plan to offend people, but sometimes that just happens because I think people, they're not open to what they don't understand, but that's why what I'm doing is for my fans, because they're all really young, and so they understand what I'm doing.
Well, did it go exactly as you planned? Is there anything you would have done?
I mean, it's a month later, and we're still talking about it, so
Which is
it definitely
amazing.
went as planned.
It really is. We talk about the performance, and obviously a lot of it was very provocative. I'm never going to go to a sporting game and see a foam finger again in the same way.
Without getting up and doing this with it.
I probably won't do that, but I'll be thinking about it. Add to that some of the photos that I've seen of you recently on the internet. Add to that the naked shot on the wrecking ball for your video. It's very clear that you are navigating.
But also you can't help it. Every time you go by a wrecking ball, you just want to get naked and be on top
Luckily,
of it.
I don't pass a lot of wrecking balls. But
this is New York. What do you mean? I've seen a trillion.
That's true. But it's clear that you are attempting to navigate tricky territory right now that a lot of people have tried in the past between child star and adult performer. Is it harder than you thought it would be?
Nah, because this is just like who I am. I think it's only hard if you're trying to be something you're not. Being who you are is really easy if you're really true to that.
Is it a phase? Is this a phase? Is the sexual side of you that we're seeing a lot of right now something that's going to be here for a while and then move on to something else?
Well, I heard when you turn 40, things start to go a little less sexual. So
Don't say
probably
that.
around 40, around that time, I heard that's when people don't have sex anymore. So I guess maybe around then.
Do you know how old I am?
I'm going to guess 40. You don't.
I love you again. 55.
55. Oh, well, then you're really definitely not sexual.
Any do-overs in terms of your career right now? Is there something you would like to do differently that you've done in the last couple of months?
I can't change anything, can't go back. So I can do a lot of things, but I can't change the past, so nothing. Can't change it, anything I can't control, I don't really think about. I just live my life the way it is, and I don't really regret anything.
One of the things you have done is you've answered some of your critics. One comes to mind in particular, Sinead O'Connor, who tweeted some things about you. My first question is your thoughts on her. My second is, why not just let it go?
My thoughts started amazing. My thoughts, if you want to know my thoughts, I think she's an incredible artist. I think she's an awesome songwriter, and I was really inspired by her for my Wrecking Ball video, which is what started the whole thing. I don't know how someone can start a fight with somebody that's saying, hey, I really respect you, and I really love what you did. You know what? You suck, and I don't like you. That was kind of crazy, but, as I said, I'm a big fan of hers, so it doesn't really matter.
Do you wish, though, maybe you had stayed out of the fray a little bit, because you did fire back? It got intense there.
It's all good. You can write as many open letters as you want. That's really what blogging is. So, I get open letters every day. It's nothing too new for me.
What are you going to do next? What do you see? Do you have a 5-year plan? You said you don't plan things a second ago. I think you meant overnight. But do you have a 5-year plan?
Not really. I'm focused on when I get to go on tour, which is going to be next year, which I'm really excited about. And so that's really my focus. My plan is focusing on right now and continuing what I'm doing, because I'm the happiest I've ever been in my whole life. So I'm really happy to be here.
You're getting a lot of attention, as we already said. Everybody I've talked to about you, Miley, says this young lady has real talent, bona fide talent. Do you ever worry that some of the things that go on around you draw people's attention away from that talent?
I don't really worry about anything because I know who I am, and I know that I'm an artist, and I know that I've put all this time and this effort into my record, and my record is proof of really who I am. And you know, I said something before where for me the most important thing is being a really good person, and that doesn't depend on what you do on stage. That depends how you treat people when you're off stage, and I know how I treat people, so I'm not really too worried about it.
Talk to me a little bit of parents and their influence on
My mom is over there somewhere. There she is. So that's pretty awesome.
Do they still have influence over you at 20, the same kind of influence they may have had over you at 14?
Yeah, I mean, for me, my parents have always just been about being really who you are and figuring that out. And what's good about that is, as I trust them a lot, so I can go to them with pretty much anything, than a lot of kids that have to hide things from their parents that I don't have to because my parents are just accepting. And that's what real love is unconditional. And unconditional means that it doesn't depend on what you're doing. It's just, that means they love you no matter what. And that's what parents are supposed to be.
You're going to stick around. You're going to sing another song. I think we're going to hear Wrecking Ball next.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got Wrecking Ball from Miley Cyrus in a moment. But first, this is Today on NBC.